Welcome back, everybody, to No Cell Radio. We are on our tri-weekly.
We had a little hiccup.
Scheduling conflicts arose.
Yeah.
So we missed our annual date of last Thursday.
Yes.
However, we decided to come back, not make you wait 3 weeks.
Can't do that.
After our second highest rated podcast ever.
Popular.
With the Dream Match card that we put out there. And so we had to hop right back into it. So we decided we were going to switch it up. Yep. We're going to get back onto that bi-weekly schedule.
Yeah.
For the most part, hopefully. Yeah. Scheduling conflicts arise.
Life goes on.
Life happens.
Yep.
But we are here for all your wrestling needs.
Yes.
In the luxurious studio. I was going to put on my legit Boss Sasha Banks shirt today. However, I don't think it's going to fit. It looks awfully snug. Plus, I don't really know if a grown man should be wearing a shirt like that.
But, you know, you're slimming down. We're both slimming down.
We're getting there.
Corey and I are on a little journey together.
We're getting there. And hopefully one day I can squeeze into my legit boss.
I got the Seth freaking Rollins.
The
architect shirt on right now.
And it's lovely. He only wears his wrestling shirts when we podcast or go to a show.
Yes.
I don't do either.
No, Corey doesn't participate in anything wrestling.
I am the worst.
He is the worst person to go to a show with. The worst. Don't ever start a This Is Awesome chant with Corey unless you're 2 hours in.
The freaking show.
Yeah, that's all you want to do.
And, you know, frankly, I hated SmackDown. Did you hear during AJ Styles and Gable, I almost threw something through the TV. Yeah. I almost dove headfirst into the television.
Your least favorite chant.
Literally ever. 4 minutes into the match.
No, it was longer than that.
It wasn't that long. I mean, it was like first commercial break. We'd done like a hip toss, a kick out, and throw to the outside, and we got some doof in the 6th row yelling, "This is awesome." I mean, for the love of God, stop embarrassing yourself.
Yeah, marks.
I hate you.
We hate our marks here.
Anyways, we digress.
Yes.
NXT's next week. I saw that.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I know. We never really talked about it.
I don't think we're going to go this time around. But, you know, there's just not the stars. Last time we got to see Shinsuke,
Nakamura,
Bailey,
Finn,
American Alpha,
Joe.
Revival, Finn, Joe. I mean, it was a good show.
Yeah. I mean, you have Asuka. That'd be cool. We saw her, though. Bobby Roode would be cool to see. It'd be cool to see him. But that's...
other than that, I just want to hear the song.
Yeah. I mean, no one else really excites me down there anymore.
I mean, it's just kind of pretty stale times in the NXT world. However...
Yeah, we digress.
Let's pull it all back in. It's the week it's throwing me off. We'll pull it all back in here, and I'm going to pass it off. My name is Corey, by the way. I'm
Brent.
In case you forgot.
Yeah.
I'm going to pass over to Brent as our executive producer, show manager.
I love the titles you give me. It makes me feel important.
/ bartender here at No Cell Radio. And I'm going to pass it to him to tell you all the different places you can find us all over the World Wide Web.
All over the internet.
Do they still call it the World Wide Web?
Sure, why not?
Good. Here's Brent.
Yeah. Thanks, Corey. So first and foremost, again, like Corey said, we want to say thanks for listening to last week's show. Corey loves my drinks. Is that bad? Is it bad?
It's not good.
It's part of my homemade batch. Sorry.
Can't seem to get that when you taste the lemon. Can't seem to get that off my face.
Sorry. We're off the rails here already. So anyway, big thanks for making last week's show our most viewed show on SoundCloud. Corey's examining the cup like it's a murder scene.
There's something in there. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh boy! All right. So SoundCloud. That's you can find us. Last week's episode, most viewed episode we've ever had on SoundCloud, so thank you for that. You can also find us on archive.org. If you search No Cell Radio, that's again archive.org. You can follow us on Twitter at No Cell Radio. Find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/No Cell Radio. And anytime you have questions, comments, thoughts, feelings, opinions, email us, nocellradio@gmail.com.
So,
did you recover there?
Huh?
Did you recover?
Yeah, I'm back. My mouth can now move again.
I'm sorry you don't like my drink, sir. It's a homemade batch.
It's a weird taste.
It's a homemade batch, so I mixed it with some other ones to dilute it. You're welcome.
So, anyways, we have a couple things to talk about before we get into our meat of our show.
Yep.
Which is going to be breaking down the upcoming, strangely titled, Vince must be
horribly graphic.
Horribly graphic.
Great Balls
of Fire. Jerry Lee Lewis must be playing throughout the McMahon house. I don't know why else you would call or design something quite like this. But it is the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view.
Yep.
And I just feel so awkward and everybody's like, I'll see you at Great Balls of Fire. What? Yeah. So we'll break down that card.
Yep.
We're going to do what we thought of the build to each match, how we see each match playing out, and then where we see that feud or each person going in the future past that. But first.
Yes.
We each have a fascinating opening bell to start with.
Back to the tried and true tradition. So, ref, start it up. All right.
So, I'll go first. Do you want me to go first? I don't know what yours is. I told you mine.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So, I didn't really tell you mine. I was just kind of ranting, and then we just decided this would be my opening bell.
Sure, yeah.
Watching SmackDown earlier today, getting caught up, we've been singing the praises of SmackDown's women's division, how they've kind of built those girls up, and how I think Carmella's done an amazing job.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's completely turned around. Like when she first came out, she would get no reaction. Then you throw Chins McMahon with her, and he kind of helps her out with a little bit of heat because he's pretty good at getting heat because he's just so annoying and weird looking. But she's been outstanding. She's been so much better on the mic. She's getting comfortable in that heel role.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just working it. She's working that spot, and now she's getting... First she won Money in the Bank, then lost it, and then they had her win it again. So that's a big push for her. I mean, that's a place where before, I never thought that I'd see Carmella be in that spot. Now, whether it's a transitional place or not, I don't know, but it's the point of this whole entire opening bell is Naomi, who we have praised because of her athletic ability, and I kind of feel like this is her whole career in a nutshell so far. Even when she was with Team Bad, it was, she's athletic, she's very athletic, but there's something missing. Well, I have pinpointed it, and I think everybody already can kind of tell you what it is. But she is so bad on the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
There's bad. Like, Roman Reigns is bad on the microphone. This girl is absolutely the worst I've seen in a long time.
Wow.
Every time she opens her mouth, it is an absolute cringe segment. And I really want, and I think they really want her to, we all want her to be successful. It's a great role for her. She's a great athlete. She has good matches. That's all fine and dandy. But her promos, and this past Tuesday, when she was talking, everything, like, I was telling you that I always blame this on feeling everything being scripted. I feel like her stuff isn't scripted, and she's like, she was bad before, but it's getting worse every time she talks now.
Yeah, because you think she's just winging it.
I think they're having her kind of do her own thing, and she's drowning.
Yeah.
Like, miserably. Because she's saying, like, weird things and, like, saying, like, random stuff, like the Bugs Bunny thing.
Yeah.
And, then, like, when she was talking to Ellsworth, it was like, somebody... the whole cadence of her talk, you can tell when someone's not comfortable talking because their cadence is all off. And hers is like, somebody wants to talk to you, L's worthless, or whatever she said. And it was like, oh, that would have been kind of funny if, it wasn't so
horribly delivered.
And then, like, they're like, what? And everything she does is just so cringeworthy on the mic. And I just wondered, I don't want to see her with a belt in a main role until that's fixed. When you have people like Charlotte, Carmella, and Becky, who can all carry a microphone and can carry a feud with a microphone. They can all talk.
Yeah.
Even when we were there 4 months ago, whenever that was, for SmackDown, and they had that three-way segment with her, Bliss, and Lynch in the ring. They each got their little promo time. Bliss, fantastic. Becky was great. And then it goes to Naomi, and that was not a very good promo, but it was like to the point where it wasn't horrible. It wasn't like pathetically bad. It was kind of like, all right, that's good. Like, we can survive with that.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see her out there in a prominent role unless it improves. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
I mean...
And I hate the belt with the neon lights on it.
So, one, I did not like that at all. It cheapens it.
Stupid.
It makes it look like a toy that you're going to sell at Kmart.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they did that. The only time the changing of a belt has been effective is when Stone Cold did it with the Smoking Skulls.
Arguably Cena.
Cena did it with the spinner.
As much as everybody hates it.
But, Edge kind of took, you know what I mean? Like I like that change. To put some neon lights on the belt, I thought was just cheap.
Weak.
Yeah, weak. Here's where I have a hard time, and I totally see your point with the microphone. The hard part, what's a bummer for me, is if you notice, I feel like the crowd is actually reacting to her more now in a positive way. Like, I feel like her crowd reaction, the pop she gets, not saying it's some significant pop, it's not the level of a Charlotte or a Becky or a Bayley or a Sasha or even an Alexa, but it's getting better, and it's probably because a lot of the kids. Like, if you kind of see the crowd, a lot of the kids have her Feel the Glow merchandise on and all that stuff. And great. If you can sell merchandise through that type of thing, that's awesome. Good for you. And that's what's tough is, her athleticism and everything bodes well for a champion. But I agree with you. Her mic work is, I mean, it's just, it's not even subpar. It might be the worst on the roster. I mean, I would put Natty above her, which isn't saying much, because I think Natty's really awkward with the mic. And Tamina, because she says so little, might even be more effective because she doesn't have as much of a chance to screw up.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying. Like, if you're going to put the belt on her, she has to be able to carry segments and carry feuds with the microphone, and she can't do that. And it makes it tough to watch. It really does.
It's really bad.
I mean, Lana's outshining her from a promo standpoint.
Yeah.
And Lana's always been good on the microphone because, I mean, she talked for Rusev for like the first 6 months of their
I think
career.
she understands what her character is too better. I think Naomi's still struggling with what exactly her character is.
Is it even really a character though?
I'm kind of struggling with what her character is.
That's the thing. It's not. I mean, if you look at the other wrestlers, like Charlotte's the queen, right? Becky Lynch is the last kicker. You almost kind of have Natty's character. You know what Carmelo's is. You know what Alexa's is. You know what Sasha's is. You know what Bayley is. I don't even think Naomi has a character. I think it's just this mantra, feel the glow. I'm going to be this inspirational girl who, does what I want and fights for what I want. And that's it. Like, I don't think she actually has a character. And I agree with you. If you don't have one, how do you know how to talk? It's like an actor in a movie. If you don't know what role you're playing, you don't know how to play the role. Yeah. You know what I mean? So they're basically saying to her, go out and be you.
I don't think they're really...
That doesn't really work. That doesn't really work.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get what you're saying for sure. I mean, I don't know. She keeps having this mini feud with Lana. I don't know if it's just filler to get to, SummerSlam to, give the strap to Charlotte. But I'm hoping they pass it off to Charlotte or Becky. Or even Carmella.
5-second match.
Yeah.
It was really strange.
Yeah. Because they're building Naomi to look strong as a wrestler.
Yeah. Which is fine. I mean,
but it's you have to have both sides to some extent. If you're going to be say a B-level worker, you got to have at least C-level microphone skills.
Sure.
So She doesn't have that. She's a B-level worker with F microphone skills.
Yeah.
So it downgrades her. Downgrades to a very average person. So I like it. Solid thoughts. I'm adjusting my opening bell. I had an opening bell in mind. I'm gonna completely go away from it.
Oh.
Yeah, because you reminded me I wanted to talk about something that we can kind of use as a small segue, because I know we said we wanted to make sure we touched on this, and it's of the SmackDown Women's Division. A few weeks ago, they had the Money in the Bank pay-per-view with the first ever Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I know you and I talked heavily about it after watching it, the pay-per-view in general, but we talked specifically about the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. I thought it was a complete and utter slap in the face to have that match end the way it did. I'm not mad at all at Carmella winning the Money in the Bank briefcase. I agree with you. I think she has taken her role, and again, like so many others on SmackDown, Jinder, all these guys, she has taken the ball and she is running with it. And she is running until they make her stop. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
She's just going. And the heat she has been getting with the briefcase and everything has been really good. And it gives somebody for the crowd to kind of like want to see fail, which I like. I wouldn't have had any problem with her winning. I wouldn't have even had a problem with James Ellsworth affecting the outcome in some way. But to have a man climb to remember the video package beforehand, this big historical video package of all the women saying this is my time, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
To have this, to set this up as this big historical thing, and then to have a man come in, grab the briefcase, drop it down. Okay, that's kind of bad enough as it is. Then you're just going to go and do another one?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it completely takes away the significance of that first one. It's almost like, and this is going back to the well here a little bit. Remember how successful the first couple TLCs were? Mm-hmm. Then remember when they did the one on SmackDown with the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, the Hardys, and then Chris Benoit and like Chris Jericho?
Yeah.
I did not like that one.
Really?
Because I felt like it was like just a way to get that match in. You know what I mean? Like, oh, we should do another TLC match. Everyone loves it. Let's add a fourth team in there. It'll be really dynamic. And remember, Chris got like injured and then like did his little rabid Wolverine stumble back out to the ring and everything. Yeah. I just didn't feel like it was the same mystique as the first few, And I feel like to sit there and talk about how significant this initial Women's Money in the Bank ladder match was, to then have it end the way it did, and then just 2 days later be like, nah, we're just going to do another one. Well, what's the point? And then to have Carmella win it and have James Ellsworth interfere again. I have no problem. And we've seen it year after year. The heel manager, the heel valet interfere in a match. I have no problem with that. You could have had James Ellsworth hold Becky's leg. You could have had him even tip the ladder over. I mean, shit. The girls were willing to take some risks in that match. Some of them took some hard bumps. Tamina took some crazy bumps. Mm-hmm. He could have done something, but to have him actually climb the ladder, take the briefcase, and drop it down to Carmella, I just thought was a slap in the face to everything they had tried to build. And it's another example of the WWE having this big build to something and then not knowing how to follow through on it and trying to cover their tracks. And I want to know, was this something they literally thought of on the fly, or was this the plan all along? Was the plan all along to have two in a row?
Right.
Because I honestly don't know. I don't know. I've been trying to look for rumor sheets and stuff that, Dave Meltzer, somewhere to hear somebody say this was the plan, but I haven't heard anything about, was this just something they came up with, like, oh crap, we got to fix this, or was this their initial plan? We're just going to do two. We're going to have the first one be jacked up. That way Carmella can win twice. I don't know, but I did not like the way they booked that first one.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think everybody would pretty much agree with that you stole what should have been a significant moment away from anybody.
Let Carmella climb it. And if you want to solidify her as another top-level woman, you don't need... Charlotte and Becky doesn't need that. They're going to get their shots. They don't need that. You want to make another women's star? Have Carmella climb that thing and have that picture of her holding that up at the end, a la kind of Edge when he won his first one, the ultimate opportunist. Like, have that moment. Don't spoil it by her holding it like a helpless woman underneath the ladder.
It'd be totally okay. I understand why they used Ellsworth. I get all that, to get the heat on everything and to make everybody hate everything involved with it. fine, I understand that. But you can still gather. I mean, have her go on Ellsworth's shoulders and he walks her up the freaking ladder.
Seriously.
I mean, there's so many different ways of doing it other than having him climb the ladder and take it off.
Right.
It was just a terrible idea.
Right. So that's my gripe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you said, and that's why what you said kind of made me think about it. You know, we have been singing the praises of the SmackDown Women's Division now for a while, and I was really excited. I thought the match was decent. It was not a "This is awesome" worthy. Like, there were some good moments, and sure, like, I mean, if you remember, they did a "This is awesome" chant, but I think it was out of respect of the fact that some of those girls were taking bumps that you wouldn't normally see a woman take. So I think it was
"This is awesome"
for everything. For literally everything.
Chin locking.
Right.
Arm dragging.
Right. But I'm saying, like, I slightly get the need to say it because I think it's, like, more of a respect to those 5 women. You know, like, hey, kudos on you for taking some crazy bumps, you know. The match wasn't, like, 5-star. It wasn't superb, but, like, it was good. So just let it be. You know what I mean? Like, let it be a match that has a woman prevailing, you know. I don't know. That bugged me.
Sure, I agree 100%.
So
I don't know if there's very many people that think positively of how the match ended at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. So before we head into the meat, though, I want to kind of cover a few smaller topics, a few questions that have come and posed to us and everything. But also want to know what are your thoughts on Baron Corbin winning the men's Money in the Bank? You had a pretty stacked match there. You had a really cool moment with Shinsuke and AJ teasing that little potential fight. What do you think about Baron Corbin winning that?
Boring. I mean, what I don't like about it is it means at some point we're going to get Baron Corbin as the WWE champion.
Right. And who's he going to take it from? That's what's going to be difficult too.
Well, it's going to be a face, so it's going to be sometime down the line, I'd assume, when either Mahal loses it or loses it. Whoever Mahal ends up losing to, whether it's Owens or Styles or freaking Zayn or Cena. Whoever it ends up being.
He could take it from Cena. I had heard a rumor that could be a potential outcome. That Cena's going to challenge the winner of Mahal Orton at SummerSlam. Cena will win, break Flair's record. Corbin will cash in on Cena, thus leaving Cena open to go do the Raw thing and start his feuds over there.
Agent.
Yeah. I just heard that potential rumor, so I think Cena may makes the most sense as someone you're going to take it from.
I just don't understand. I don't understand the Baron Corbin thing. I don't get it.
They love him.
I don't.
They love him.
I don't understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. He has a couple really, really good-looking moves.
Yeah, his finisher's kind of cool looking. The end of days.
And end of days is cool.
They're cool.
But
they're cool.
Other than that, I don't see much. I mean, he's a big, bad heel.
But he's not that, like, we always talk about how Vince loves, like, the big, bulky guys. Like, he doesn't have the body type that Vince likes.
No, he's just a big dude.
He's got a receding hairline like nobody's business. He's pasty pale and full of tattoos. And he's built, but he's not, like, really jacked. You know what I mean? Like,
he's just a dude. I mean...
Yeah.
He's just a big guy who...
My heart was pulling for Sammy. Just because I like to see Sammy have that opportunity.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know.
Sammy could have played. He could have done a bunch of things with Zayn. I mean, being the lovable underdog, he could have, won and then cashed in and said he's cashing in here and then lost. I mean, there's just so many different things you could have done with Zayn.
Yeah.
Corbin, I just don't think that's really a good move for him to be a champion. I don't see it.
We didn't see it with Mahal, though. We didn't see it with Mahal.
I have always been a fan of the modern day Maharaja.
Never hinder the gender.
I have always been on the Maharaja side.
But, I mean, you had to see him as champ first.
I saw the light.
Did you see it when he got the belt?
I think if you listen back, I called for Mahal to win, and I think I said he should have won.
I think we both said he might have won. We might have both.
I think we both predicted he'd win, but I said he should win.
Okay. Fair enough.
But
so maybe Corbin will do something with it. Maybe.
What We have a great heel champion right now.
Right.
He's the modern day Maharaja.
He's really good, though. By the way, I
mean,
he's so like his work has almost made me forget that literally like 4 years ago he was in 3MB.
People
like
just want to
like
hate it.
he to me like I perceive him as legit.
People
like,
just want to hate it.
Yeah, I perceive it as him totally legit.
If anybody tells you that it's not good or believable, they just don't want to like it.
Yeah,
that's what it is at this point.
I believe it. I'm convinced.
Thank you.
I like it. Sorry, here we're both burning the midnight oil. Apparently,
It's hot as hell.
I know. The summer weather is getting to us, but I can't. Our luxurious studio can't afford sound playing behind us. Another comment or another question is: we haven't talked about the breakup of Enzo and Cass. We haven't been on air since that has taken place. So, what do you think of it? And also, kind of a side question that was posed to us is. What do you think is the future of Enzo? Because obviously, we've known this for a while. They looked at Cass as a potential main eventer down the line.
Right.
Enzo needs. I don't see Enzo as a singles guy. Like I don't see him as a guy that can sustain a run as a singles guy. Like I think he could be a lower card guy that like gets squashed and stuff a lot. So I mean, what do you think about the breakup and how it's been built and how it's been kind of formulated? But more importantly, what do you think is going to be the future of Enzo Amore? Now that they are, kind of both their separate ways.
So far, the feud to me has been. I've loved the feud. I still don't really understand where Corey Graves ties into this whole thing. But the whole reveal where he attacked Enzo was, pretty typical way of doing it, but it was good. I enjoyed it. Secondly, I love that it just hasn't been all. At first Enzo was all like, oh, my brother, blah, 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 why are you doing this to me? I'm so sad. And then got attacked again. But I loved this past week. Enzo came out, cut a fantastic promo. And then they go backstage with Cass, and he's talking to whoever's back there, whatever interviewer. And then Enzo comes flying in, attacks him, gets his shots in, beats him down. I think it's good stuff. I like the feud so far. However, to answer that fan's question, I do think it's a very limited ceiling on what this goes. I think this might be like the height of Enzo as a singles person, and then he's going to kind of just fade into the back, sadly, because I just don't. He's small. He has great promo skills. What do you do with a guy like that?
Right.
He's not great in the ring.
Right.
He's just okay. He's phenomenal on the mic, but what do you do with him?
Right.
Do you have him go? I mean, maybe you have him and Miz go friggin' try to have a little segment or some kind of little mini feud. But ultimately, I think it's just going to turn into Enzo. I mean, there's a chance, though, because there are a lot of people that are on Enzo's side, and they like him from what you hear. But ultimately, I think it's going to turn into Enzo just being another background guy. Yeah,
I agree with you totally. The feud's been better, I think, than I initially thought. I think part of that's Enzo's promo work. Mm-hmm. The promo where Cass came out and kind of betrayed him again, mm-hmm. I thought was good. This last week's was really good. Well, really strong.
Crying on demand.
God, seriously, like
when the second one,
right?
When Cass turned on him again, and he was like crying on cue. It was like sitting here going, "Wow, that was really well done."
Yeah, it shows Enzo's ability.
Yeah.
I want to slightly make the bold prediction that I think Enzo will not be working for the company in the next year. By the end of 2018, he will not be with the company. But I also don't want to say that because I kind of like him. I could see maybe get like a small little icy feud with The Miz or something. I think, in my personal opinion, you got to do one of two things with him. Either A, you got to pair him with somebody else, let him be with somebody else, or you kind of almost make him into a manager.
Mm-hmm.
Find, maybe he goes and gets some new guy from NXT, kind of a quieter guy, and he becomes his kind of funky mouthpiece.
What's more likely? Cass goes on and has like a big main event run, turns into the star they think he is, single star they think he is, or he kind of flounders and sputters around in the main event picture, and then in a year's time, you get a massive reunion with Enzo, and they do
that one. I like Cass. I don't see him as a heel main eventer because he's not horrible on the mic.
No, he's really not.
He doesn't, to me, come off as a heel. And two, he's on Raw, so you're going to tell me you're going to be in the main event scene that includes Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar. Like, those are the other heels you're working with.
You're a bunch of hosses.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't see him believable as a heel in and amongst those guys.
Yeah.
So I think it would be the latter. I could see in a year's time them having some magical pop-laden, this is awesome, chanted reunion at some major pay-per-view.
I think it's exactly why you won't see Enzo released from the company anytime soon.
Because you think they're waiting as that's like a plan
so
B.
Popular.
So that's their backup.
Absolutely.
Like if crap hits the fan, we can always go back to that.
We can always just throw them back together.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's...
The tag team divisions are thin. You have American Alpha essentially possibly breaking up. The Von Villains have already been out. That's
why it's so weird to me.
You have all these... Doing. Yeah, there's the tag team divisions are thin right now.
I understand you see something in Cass and you want to move him forward in that role, but the fact of the matter is you need tag teams.
You need tag teams. Unless you're going to be bringing up the Authors of Pain or Heavy Machinery anytime soon, which you're not.
Because you already broke up
DIY, right. I don't know why they just keep feeling this need to break up tag teams.
Is Heavy Machinery those two fat guys?
Mm-hmm.
That one guy's so fat.
I kind of dig him though.
But that one guy is so fat.
He is, but I kind of dig him.
He's fat.
I kind of dig him. Okay, yeah. Last topic we want to get to before we get into the meat, is this past week's rap battle on SmackDown.
Is there another face tag team on Raw right now? Besides,
you have Gallows and Anderson, you have Cesaro and Sheamus, you have the Hardys, Heath Slater and Rhino.
Is that it?
Yep.
And you just killed one of your tag your face tag team.
Yep. Because the Revival, that's a heel team.
It's a strange time to do that.
Yeah.
So you got to think one of those teams is turning face.
I guess.
It really sucks, man. They could do so much more with the freaking...
I know. Those guys are floundering.
And they could be beautifully...
Yeah.
They could be a face team.
They really could. Nerds could become the new stupid idiot. It really could. I really think it could.
So funny.
I really think it could. So speaking of tag teams, we have the tag team rap battle on SmackDown. Usos versus New Day, hosted by Wale. Is it Wale?
It's Wale.
Wale. Or wait, Wally or something. I heard someone say Wally. I'm like, it's not the Disney Pixar show.
This whole thing was strange to me when I saw it because I only know Wale as the rapper who likes WWE.
He's a huge wrestling fan.
I don't know his music. I don't know any of his songs.
I couldn't pick out a song.
I just know him as the rapper who's at like a ton of WWE stuff.
Yeah. So, we can give our thoughts to that battle, but obviously we know there's one moment in particular that I think deserves the attention. Mm-hmm. And that's when the Usos made reference to Xavier Woods' tape. We'll just leave it at that. Tape with Paige.
His appearance.
His appearance. Do you think that was written? Do you think they went off script with that? And how the heck would Vince, like where do you think Vince is in his mind to be like, yes, PG-13 program, we have not talked about it at all. Let's do it.
It was 100% written.
Big E's reaction was classic.
Well, he just started laughing. I don't know if they knew what each other was going to
I don't think they did either. Because the reactions sometimes were genuine.
Well, they both started laughing. Like twice.
Like, you got me. You got me. Yeah.
But I don't...
Well, Kofi was bad, so they were laughing at how bad he was.
It's true. I don't know...
It's horrible.
I don't know if they knew what they were going to say to each other. Like, I don't know if New Day knew what the Usos...
You don't think they rehearsed it?
I don't... Here's what... I don't know. Maybe they're working all of us because Big E's reaction to me was like legit. Like he was like laughing, like wow. But it was definitely all that was written because you could tell because when the Usos screwed up, they would repeat the line again.
Why did they repeat it a second time?
Because I think that's how they memorized it. So, like, when they memorized it as this line, but then they get interrupted.
So they can't prepare for the interruption?
I can't do it halfway through.
Because Xavier said, wow, you got to say it twice? You really say it twice? Like,
yeah. So I think, like, that's why he was... Because I think that's how they memorized it. They memorized the first line, and then they didn't anticipate having to stop. And then when they stopped, they're like, oh, God, that's not how I memorized it. I don't know what the next line is. So they just redid it again. They did it multiple times.
They did it like 2 or 3 times,
He did it multiple
times. The Jamaican and the... That was a funny line, too, though. He goes, hey, man, Kofi Kingston. Yeah, like, remember he used to be Jamaican?
But I felt like I was, like, accidentally rewinding it a couple times. And, I mean, it was a segment that was pleasantly so much better than I thought it was going to be.
I like the entourages, too. Like, the contrast. You had the dark...
There's, like, this super old guy behind him. Did you see that guy?
But you had these, like, banditos with Usos and then, like, a unicorn and a sailor.
They had, like, the old Adam Rose crew.
Yeah, seriously, the Rosebuds made a reappearance.
I mean, it was, like... It was for a segment that I fully anticipated to be completely ridiculously stupid.
Yeah.
It was really funny. And I think it's because of who did it. The Usos have proven in the last 5 months that they are so much better than anything they were doing before.
Yeah.
And the New Day that's their thing. That whole thing is their kind of bag. They love that, whatever.
The banter. They do.
Yeah, that's like their thing. They do that all the time anyways when they're talking. They do like the rhymes and all this different stuff.
Yeah.
So it was perfectly made for them. The Usos stepped up and showed that they could do it too, and they were pretty good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the feud because they have good matches too.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I was happy with it. I was a big fan.
I kind of agree. JBL, he's known to hit things over the head relentlessly, but he has made comments several times that we're looking at arguably the 2 best tag teams of the last decade. Might slightly be fair to say. Or maybe at least the last half decade. Well, the Usos have won Tag Team of the Year twice.
I think half decade for sure.
I mean, and they're showing it. You know what I mean? Like, they're showing how much better they are than the rest of the group. Which, again, the SmackDown division's thin. The Vaudevillains are now broken up.
You don't know what?
American Alpha, we don't know what's going on with that because Gable's been in singles matches now twice, and Jason Jordan didn't even come out with him on this last one.
He was on the Battle Royal.
He was on the Battle Royal. So we don't know what's going on with that. So you're left with Breezango and the Ascension.
I love Breezango.
Oh, they're good. Wait, what was it? What was his name? Something Young. What was it? Tenay Young. And then the best part about it was they cut right to Renee Young, and the whole crowd burst in laughter because they look spot on. Like, the hair was done the same and everything. It was so good. So good.
And Fandango's back there.
Like, wandering around with, like, a pipe or something, like, pretending he's a construction worker.
Ty Dillinger was great.
Yeah.
He was like, Tenay, you are a 10. And then he starts to walk and turns like, what's up, Fandango? It starts looking around like, oh, excuse me.
It's so good. It's so good. But, I mean, again, that's another thin division. It's just, I don't know what they're doing with tag teams.
Yeah.
It just seems really thin.
I mean, it doesn't seem like they're all that much worried about it.
Yeah.
But, God, I love me some Breezango, and I never thought that I would.
They've grown
Talk about 2 guys that have just completely taken
the ball. They've taken the ball and ran with it.
The ball they were given.
Said, hey, why not?
Here we go.
Why not?
Let's have some fun.
Oh, boy. All right.
And then he was dressed like Tenay Young in the match.
I know. It was so good. It was so good. All right. Well, we're going to move on to the meat here. We're going to preview the Great Balls. Can we just say GBF? I'm so tired of saying Great Balls of Fire.
I wish Ambrose would have been backstage at SmackDown and, like, walked by Breeze and, like, smacked his ass. Like, hey, baby, what's up?
That would have been good.
But he's not now, so.
Yeah, it's true. So here's what we're going to do with GBF here. With great balls.
All right, well, let's just start.
We're gonna talk about each match, kind of give the build to it and everything. So the first match we have is the Cruiserweight Championship. We're doing this, which is Akira Tozawa versus Neville.
I don't know who Akira Tozawa is.
You know what my thoughts are on the Cruiserweights, much to the chagrin of some of our fans who love the Cruiserweights. I can't stand them. I could care less. Outside of Aries and Neville, I really don't care.
If it's not Neville versus Aries, I don't want to
I don't really care. I will say this,
Cedric
though.
Alexander's really good. I do like Cedric.
Yeah, but he was gone for a while.
And they don't really give him
give him much of anything. He should be the next in line.
Yeah. Not whoever this
I will say, though, the build has been okay because Titus has been okay. This whole Titus brand thing is okay.
Is he involved with these guys?
So Akira Tozawa is now in the Titus brand.
This just really shows how much I hit that fast forward button on Raw.
I know. We both were saying before the show, Raw's a chore and a half to get through.
Sucks, man.
But I mean, so I'll give the build to it like a C, like a C plus. But I mean, I'm assuming Neville's going to win.
Yes.
Because again, you can't be the king of the cruiserweights without you like that one. I get the good English accent.
Eventually, he's got to lose.
But it should be to Cedric or Austin Aries or
apparently Austin
Ray
Aries
Mysterio when Ray Mysterio comes back.
Austin Aries is getting married to a new girl they just signed.
His wife's a wrestler. Kudos to him.
Yeah, they will be getting married. She's cute too.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name. I'll tell you later.
Random fun fact: I know someone who is related to Kazarian.
Yeah, you told me that.
And she's met Austin Aries.
Nice.
Yeah, really jealous.
So,
really jealous.
And unless it's like Aries, Neville, / like Alexander, if they give him something to work with, I really don't care about this.
So we both say that Neville's going to win.
Neville should win.
And feud with Alexander next.
And I think Neville should hold this title for
like 2 years.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Who else is going to take it from him? Good Lord. I'm sorry. We're pissing off several fans right now, but I really don't care.
Sure as hell not Akira Takaka.
I just don't care about the cruiserweights. All right, next matchup we have the Intercontinental Championship match, The Miz versus Dean Ambrose. The Miz with his newly formed Miztourage with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel.
God, is Bo Dallas not like perfectly groomed?
Ready for the Wyatts?
Yes.
He's growing the beard and everything.
What are we doing here?
I know. He's like asking for it. I think he's like secretly showing Vince, like, look, I can grow a beard. I can do everything.
Ridiculous. He's got the hair's not perfectly combed.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I know.
But I do like the Miztourage because I enjoy Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas just because Bo Dallas really cracks me up.
Right. And I will say, The Miz almost as better as every good heel needs a faction at some point. You remember JBL had his little group, with the
cabinet.
Yeah, the cat. Every good heel needs a little
Jordan, the Bashams.
Yeah, so I like that Miz has a little faction, kind of around him. So I think the build has been pretty solid for this. I mean, Ambrose just seems like he's kind of lost in terms of what he does.
That's kind of my problem with the whole thing. I'd give the build a B-, maybe a C+.
Yeah.
I mean, the build has been very comedy heavy, goofy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cheesy comedy.
The stuff with Miz and Maurice have been kind of funny.
Yeah.
Miz Bear and everything.
Yeah,
sure.
It's just kind of over and over. It's just a lot of comedy, cheesy thing. And I don't like that with two. To me, I don't like it when you could have... These guys have feuded so many times, so maybe that is a different way of going at the feud as opposed to how they've done it before, which I guess that makes sense to me. I always enjoy The Miz, but yeah, I feel like Ambrose is really just kind of... I feel like he's just really drowning and spinning the wheels. I mean...
Talk about a guy that... This might be one of the biggest drops from a former champion I think I've ever seen.
It's just not... There's just not a whole lot there.
Yeah. I kind of find him boring, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah.
I just don't find him entertaining.
I don't believe anything he says.
Yeah.
And I just kind of all right, well, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I find The Miz entertaining.
So should he retain? I think The Miz should retain.
Absolutely.
He needs another lengthy run with this,
100%.
I think. You can build somebody to be the person that takes it from.
You can do so much with The Miz and have a good feud with other people.
Right.
You can't say the same thing about Ambrose.
Right. Speaking of someone we talked about earlier as a potential future feud for The Miz.
I would love to see this.
Is we have the next match, which is Enzo versus Cass. The build, I think, has been great. This might be an A.
Yes, I'll give it an A.
Especially for the speed. It's been done quickly.
Yeah, it's only been like 3 weeks.
Right.
And
they've made it look important quickly.
I just really have enjoyed, and I enjoyed how, Enzo's the little fella, and he's like, is so scrappy, and like I've always said he is, and I think like, Enzo, like the whole, to me, like the promo Enzo cut, I think this has been Enzo at his best.
Yeah.
So much better than getting in that like comfortable mode when he was doing the tag team. It's the same promo over and
same
over.
Same shtick, yeah.
Stupid stuff. This was real. It felt real. And I wish they would have given more time. I think they will give it more time. I think the Cass is going to win here, but I think that the feud will continue because I think that Enzo's going to play that same role. That now, no matter what, I think Cass might get the win and then destroy Enzo after the match.
Yeah, I could see this as like Enzo getting the crap beat out of him.
And then, it'll be maybe the match will be slightly competitive, but Cass will win decisively, and then after the match, he's just going to dismantle him, beat the piss out of him, and then continue the feud by now everywhere Cass goes, Enzo just comes flying in and popping up out of nowhere and attacking him, and it'll lead to more and more feuds down the line, which I will enjoy. I think these two guys have done great work for this feud.
Yeah, for sure. Next match, I think, could be the match of the night. It could be a stealer, and that's the tag team title match. Cesaro and Sheamus versus the Hardys in a 30-minute Iron Man match.
Oh, it's 30?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 2 out of 3 falls.
No, I thought it was too, but then I double-checked. It's a 30-minute Iron Man match.
Give it to me.
That's going to be good. That's going to be good.
Every single day of the week.
That's going to be good. I like that they're doing an Iron Man match.
These two guys these two guys teamed together. At first, remember when they did it, was like, this is stupid.
Right.
They're just doing something with Cesaro. But again, I've never, ever been a fan of anything Sheamus has done.
You have hated
Heel,
him. Yeah.
Babyface, I've never liked him. This I have enjoyed thoroughly. I think it's a great role for him. It's two powerhouse dudes. He is good in the ring when he wants to be, Sheamus.
Yeah.
And I think they work really well together. They have that kind of foreign flair to match together, Swiss and Irish.
Right.
It's not exactly the same country,
but still,
it's a foreign flair to the tag team.
Right.
I think they're great, in that arrogant role because, Sheamus is the big powerhouse former champion. Cesaro is probably the most athletic dude walking in the roster.
Right.
So they have that arrogant flair to him. It kind of reminds me of his Claudio Castagnoli character when he was in ROH back in the day, which is like way better than anything Cesaro's done. Those two versus the Hardys, who at 40 years old are still really good.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing that those two out of everybody are the ones still standing.
Right.
So I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait.
I really think it could be match of the night. I think Cesaro and Sheamus should keep it. I don't know if I want to see the Hardys be two-time champions.
It'd be a quick turnaround.
It'd be a quick turnaround. And there's other teams they could essentially feud with. This, to me, I think has to be the blow-off.
Be the blow-off and then kind of reset it. With,
right.
Number one contender.
I think you can see the Hardys then move on to like Gallows and Anderson. But the only question is you got to find a face team to take on Cesaro and Sheamus. So I don't know what they'll do with that, but that could easily be the match of the night. I think for sure. Then we have kind of three of, I guess you could say, the mid card. If you want to call it that. You have the women's championship match: Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. The build's been okay. It's been okay. I like that Sasha's been back in a prominent role because that's where she belongs. She was kind of floundering for a while, fighting like Alicia Fox and spending time on 205 Live. Give me a break. She's better. She's far better than that. I could see Sasha winning this, but I think the smart move would be to keep it on Alexa.
I think
the smart move.
She's won the women's title 4 times.
Sasha
3 times.
Yeah.
I think that to me, I think Alexa should win. That's That's where I think the belt should go. I think that she needs to keep it, and I like Sasha. I do agree that this is a much better role for her in this scenario than in whatever she was doing before with that dude.
Noam Dar.
No, she was with Dar.
No, right, but she was feuding with Dar and Alicia Fox with Rich Swann.
Rich Swann. And
that's how much we know the cruiserweights.
But I think this is a much better role for her. My only concern is, and I guess it's not really concern. I mean, it's just kind of how it kind of crumbles. When the women's division on Raw, it's going to be, Sasha goes into that spot. Bayley's now going to go into the spot that Sasha was in. Except for right now, isn't Bayley feuding with Nia or something?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, they've been involved because they keep teasing Alexa and Nia's connection, and then Banks and Bayley kind of teaming up.
Friends, aren't they?
Nia and Alexa, they're best friends, yeah.
Yeah. So
they've been kind of playing that whole four-way little, hey, I'm here to help Sasha, you're here to help Alexa, that kind of thing.
So there's different ways to go with this,
right?
I just kind of getting worried that you're just going to go from and I'm doing something with my hand, so none of you can see this, but it's going to be challenger goes here, and then whoever was just the challenger is going to drop down here.
Yeah.
And then when this person's done, he's going to move here, and then this person
and they're going to keep going.
Here,
yeah,
it's just going to be shuffling over and over and over to a completely not worthless role to the title spot.
Right.
But that's why I think at secondary feud you have 3 freaking hours. You can build a solid secondary women's feud, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
You don't have to have Sasha Banks dancing with Rich Swann and Alicia Fox and her stupid boyfriend.
Right. I'm going to kind of go out on a limb here. I'm going to make a bold prediction.
Oh, you're going to change?
I'm going to make a bold prediction here. We've been hearing rumors for probably, almost a year now that they want to turn Sasha heel again, which we both said I think would be a far better role for her.
Absolutely.
You could plant the seeds with this pay-per-view because SummerSlam's just around the corner, right? So here's, if I'm playing Booker here, right? Alexa's kind of getting in trouble. Nia comes out to help Alexa. In turn, Bayley comes out to even the odds, right? Somehow, Bayley's interference distracts Sasha and costs Sasha the match.
Okay.
That leads Sasha to kind of snapping, turning on Bayley, and then you get to that kind of coveted Bayley-Sasha feud that they've been talking about doing for probably a year now.
Great. Perfect. Love it.
Bold prediction. If you want to do it, if you want to pull the trigger on it, why not now? Because it makes logical sense in terms of how they've set it up.
But then somebody else has to go face.
Right. Well, not necessarily.
Otherwise, it's
because you could have some fillers. Because while you're doing this feud with Sasha, you could have a few fillers. You have Dana Brooke. You have Mickie James. You could utilize them as challengers. You could have Mickie in 2 different feuds. 2 pay-per-view feuds with Alexa. Can she regain the title she once held for years? Dana Brooke could get her shot. So, you could go a solid... let's say you have Bayley and Sasha's first match at SummerSlam, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means you could push it to Survivor Series. You could push that feud to Survivor Series, have the blow-off at Survivor Series. So in that meantime, that September, October, November, you have Mickie James and Dana Brooke as the main faces chasing the title. You could throw in Emma in a potential match there. You could throw in Nia Jax, potential match here and there. And then Bayley can end up overcoming and prevailing against Sasha. And then Bayley spends from Survivor Series to WrestleMania trying to get the title back from Alexa Bliss. Or whomever maybe Sasha has it at that point and they reignite the feud at Royal Rumble and they...
It could work.
Yeah,
I just feel like you need another... To me, you need another face.
I agree with you. I agree with you, but they have at least 2 that could fill. 2 that at least could fill.
Okay.
Potentially.
Fair enough.
I feel like we might be forgetting someone on that women's roster, but I'm not sure.
Well, there's Mickie James, but...
Right, I was saying, we have Mickie, Dana Brooke, and then you have Emma. Yeah, and then, are we forgetting somebody? I feel like we're forgetting a woman on that roster. But maybe we're not. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just saying, bold prediction of the night. Then you have the Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt. I feel like they've done this one a million times too.
We've done at least a couple times.
I mean, the build's been cool. I mean, Bray's always good at promos.
Is there anything special about this?
Can I say this too? I feel like the entire Shield has just become boring. Do you know, actually, I'll be honest, the last 2 times Seth Rollins has come out for a promo, I've fast-forwarded through it. I don't care. Like, I genuinely don't care to hear him talk as a face.
You want to know? You want to know the only one I don't find boring?
Roman Reigns? Yeah.
I find him still entertaining.
Like, I feel like Seth Rollins needs to be a heel to be over. Like, what has happened to the Shield?
Seth Rollins is not a face.
No, he's not.
Now,
this whole thing where he raises his hands up and his midriff shows and he then blows out just air a la Triple H's water and then puts his arms out like CrossFit Jesus. So it's so stupid.
I mean, okay, no.
Go back to the curb stomp, for gosh sakes. Have some sack,
Seth
WWE.
Rollins is so much better
as a heel.
Now, at some point, somebody has to be a face. I've now sat at the thing, let Roman just be a freaking face.
But he's never going to be that because no one will let him be. No one will let him be it.
But you want to book him as the in the middle guy, keep doing it. You can't. At this point, you can't change him.
No, the audience will not let them change him.
I mean, you cannot.
You will never be able to do anything.
Put him as a heel at this point. A full-blown heel will not work.
No,
because you have Strowman, you have Wyatt, you have Lesnar, you have Joe. Is Joe now a face too? Like what? We got a roster full of heels.
I know.
And Rollins needs to be a heel, but he has to be one.
He has to be a face. I know.
It's
especially when you have Jericho gone now, and I mean the best faces are on SmackDown.
You are totally screwed. That's why Cena's a free agent. I guarantee it. Even though, again, another perfect example. Now, granted, he used the cheapest play. He used America. Yeah.
Oh
America.
God, that made me vomit. How much America talk was in that dang speech?
They booed him relentlessly, and at the end of it, he got them cheering.
He always does. He always does.
The man is such.
He can turn any audience around.
It's no wonder Vince McMahon loves him so much.
I still remember. I don't know why I've always remembered this. There was a promo he was giving where he was just getting booed relentlessly, and he's like, "You want me to do a little heel turn, a little two-step?" And the whole crowd just started cheering, like, "All right, dude, kudos on." Like, the man knows how to turn any crowd on his side.
I really want the Doctor to thug him on next song.
Oh God,
Word life.
You come out and cut another freestyle.
So,
how badly do you secretly want John Cena to come out in the middle of that tag team rap battle and be like, wait.
That would have been so cool.
Oh, it would have been amazing.
Well, I'm telling you, I was I was listening to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard.
Is he the guy that runs TNA now?
I think he's on there now.
Is it? I think he runs it. I think he's now, because TNA is now Global Force. And I think Pritchard runs Global Force.
I don't know if he runs it. I think he's on air.
No, he's like the
on camera.
Okay, he's like the.
But he has a podcast where they just talk because he was in WWE for 30 years or whatever.
Like talking shop.
No, there's
not as good.
It's really laid out, well prepared.
Right.
And
so the opposite of this.
Oh God. If you listen to Last Talking Shop, it is the biggest shit show of a thing I've ever listened to, and it was absolutely.
And we listened to our show, folks.
They were so drunk, you could tell they were so drunk that it was. You could barely even tell what they were saying sometimes.
That's awesome. That's the best type of stuff.
But by far the best one is still Braun Strowman. Martha's tit.
So good.
But anyways, so Something to Wrestle With, and the topic was, and these are 3 hours long, and the guy goes through every second of.
It's a marathon to get through.
Oh, dude, it's so good. I listen to him when I play video games. That's why you can burn through them. It's the only way I'll ever get through it. Or if I go work out or something, that's another good place to play it. So you're sitting there listening to it, and it's called The Rise. The Rise of John Cena was the topic, and he goes from the first second they saw John Cena until WrestleMania. I want to say the one with Shawn Michaels. So they like cover from like
Oh, okay.
Prototype.
When he wrestled him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like prototype type days, all the way through up until the last thing they covered was, I think it was WrestleMania 23 or something. And listening to him and how they came up with all this, and how listening to him talk, like I already respected Cena before, but listening to this dude talk about John Cena and how like he just outright refused to be outworked or anything by anybody else, and like he fully deserves everything he has, and like he was just randomly rapping one day, and he was like, yeah, you ask John's frat boys back in college, they'll tell you that he's been doing this since sophomore year of high school and all this different stuff, and he just rapped and rapped and rapped, and he ended up being pretty good. I wasn't really watching back then, but he used to say some risque stuff.
Oh, I was another avid watcher back then, and I used to just wait for his rap battles. I mean, they were amazing, like amazing.
And he smacked me on the ass.
Yeah.
That was one thing they asked him about. They're like, how'd that come about? And they're like, well, you're trying to get John over, and we're trying to get Stephanie to be a little more likable. He goes, so let's have him slap Stephanie right on the ass.
Why not?
So basically what that comes down to is John Cena is a necessary evil for you, those of you that choose not to like him, because without him you don't have any remote kind of face.
No, you don't. I think it's almost like, I want to say he's almost to the point of like the Kurt Angle territory where, like, I mean, even now Kurt Angle still gets the you suck, and they do it out of an endearing quality. Like, I feel like the whole John Cena sucks.
I think John Cena is verging upon, I'm going to say, he's verging upon taking, not like how I view Shawn Michaels, but the greatest just professional wrestler of all time. Not like technical ability,
right?
All this different stuff, just from an overall standpoint. Because there's so many people that consider Hogan that. Right.
And I was going to say his name, like in that category, like the character, the persona, the what he does for the company. Yeah. Not the best worker, which he's underrated though. He's underrated. But yeah,
that just proves what I was talking about.
Right.
And that's one of the things he said. Like, he goes, I know we don't cover now. We're not talking about now. He goes, but if you look, he goes, when John started, John was the drizzling shits in the ring.
Right.
He goes, that's no secret.
Right.
He goes, you look.
Shits.
He goes,
great analogy.
But you look at John now. He goes,
was that a quote, by the way? Did he really say that?
Yeah.
Wow, good for him. That's awesome.
He goes, but you look at him now. He's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
And it just shows how hard he's had to work.
He works hard
because he puts on fantastic matches every time he's out there.
Yeah, he does.
So I mean, I didn't mean for this to turn into a Cena love fest.
We were talking about Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt,
but I do love Cena, man.
I do. Hey, Wyatt, yeah. But we were talking about because Rollins needs to be healed and who you bring as a face. And
I mean, are we talking about money too though? Because I don't know if he brings in the type of money that Stone Cold brought in.
Cena? Oh yeah, he does. I think so because of the kids.
Well, there's no way.
The kids eat up his merchandise.
I bet, but there's no way.
We've seen shows. Go to a show and look at any kid 12 and under.
There's never been.
If it's a girl, they're wearing Bailey or Naomi. If they're a guy, if they're a boy, they're wearing Cena.
That's totally different though, because back then with Stone Cold, the market was aimed 18 to 49.
Yes.
So that's who was at the shows, and that's who can spend money more.
Right, but how many of them are going to actively buy it?
I'm telling you right now, wrestling never made more money than when Stone Cold was there.
I agree with you, but I'm saying I think Cena's merchandise sales might be around. Might be around there. Well, I don't think we're arguing anything. I think we're both saying that Stone Cold's amazing and so is John Cena.
I think Austin 316 is the highest selling shirt of all time.
Oh, probably. And we also got to say it's a different time period because Stone Cold didn't have the same level of merchandise that John Cena had.
Sure.
Cena has towels, shirts, hats, freaking sweatband.
Exactly.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like Stone Cold had Austin 316.
Yeah, sure. And
Like-
he had the finger.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally, he had two main things. We're in a day and age now where, I mean, you go on WWEshop.com and there's ornaments, there's lapel pins, there's cuff. I mean, there's a million other
Shit, you
things.
go to a merch tent at a show.
Right, and there's a million
It's
things.
like 50
So I mean, it's
things.
kind of difficult to even compare because,
Sure.
you know,
But
Stone
he
Cold was
does
working with like two or
He
three things.
personally makes a ton of money off of merch.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, my God.
Yeah. Anyway, Rollins and Wyatt.
Love you, John. Come on, Joe.
That's oh God, yes, please. I'll freestyle battle him. I don't care. I've done it before. I'll do it again. I think Wyatt's going to lose only because Wyatt never wins a pay-per-view. Like, and Rollins is going to sit on the top of the thing and do his stretches. And
What was Wyatt's last match? Was that the Orton one? Or
good
did he
question.
have-
I don't even know.
I think it was Orton. What was Rollins' last match? Joe?
Yep.
Wyatt's going to win.
Really? I just don't think Wyatt ever wins a pay-per-view. So
He doesn't, but Wyatt's going to win.
okay. I hope he does. I like
has
you
to.
know I like Bray Wyatt.
He has
I got
to.
his socks. It was in the loot crate.
You
You see those?
No.
Bray Wyatt socks were in the loot crate.
That's weird.
It's kind of cool though. I like them.
Are they like actual socks?
Yeah, they're socks and they have him
Did
on it.
they
He's holding
come
his
off
little
his nasty
lantern.
ass feet?
No, like they're
Oh.
like those fun socks, you know, like the dress socks. They're like
They
him
fit
holding
you?
them. I don't know. I haven't tried them on.
Oh, great.
I know. You get jealous sometimes. But you have the Sasha Banks shirt now, courtesy of the Loot Crate. Gave it to you. It's a gift. It's from me to you. Show my appreciation. Because you're a legit boss. Sasha Banks, come on the show. Then we have the ambulance match.
Can I
Braun
just say-
Strowman versus Roman Reigns.
Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns. Can I just say, I hate this match.
Because you hate ambulance matches.
Oh,
They're like last man standing matches and
Way worse.
stretcher matches. I hate stretcher matches too.
Shawn Michaels versus Triple H last man standing was pretty damn.
Right. Okay. I'm thinking stretcher matches. I don't like stretcher
Stretcher
matches.
match, same thing.
Stupid.
It's the
stupid.
same thing,
Yeah. Stupid.
essentially.
Yeah. It's
They're
completely
both
stupid.
stupid.
Stupid concepts. Stupid concepts.
Oh god, they're so dumb. They're boring. If Braun Strowman in any way loses this match, I don't. It's dumb.
It's another reason why I don't like cages that have doors.
You already know what's
If you're gonna win a
happen.
cage match, climb up the damn cage.
Yeah.
Don't open the door and have this back and forth where you try to shut the door.
Right.
Same thing with the ambulance. How many times are you going to go to the ambulance and they're going to try to throw them in and they're going to stop with their hands and
Yeah.
then elbow. I don't want to see it for 20
I
minutes.
think
I don't want to see it.
tell. Is he going to throw Reigns to the top of it, or is Reigns going to put him in the back and he's going to break out the top?
Reigns. Here's what I fear. Reigns is going to spear Braun Strowman into it, shut the doors, and Roman's going to win.
That sounds likely. Or I
just
think
booked
somebody's
the
going to
match.
fall through the fall through the top.
Holy what?
Yeah.
Through the damn top of it?
Yeah,
Holy
it's going to be set up.
shit!
It's going to be rigged.
Holy shit!
They'll probably have like a freaking mat. Inside.
I mean, it would be cool.
They'll have like a mat inside.
It'd be amazing if they did that.
It really wouldn't.
It would look cool.
Pretty sure they've done that before.
Through an ambulance?
I think so.
No. He gave someone an FU onto an ambulance. I don't think anyone's ever gone through one. I really don't think anyone's ever gone through an ambulance. Are you thinking of this thing with Batista? Is that what you're thinking
I'm
of?
looking. Okay.
I'm gonna say Roman wins by spearing Braun Strowman through the ambulance. Like he's gonna be at the doors. Braun's gonna be stunned by the most ungodly move ever, the Superman punch, and then Roman's gonna hoo-ah like Al Pacino and spear him into the ambulance, climb back out, shut the doors. Roman Reigns wins. That's what I'm gonna say, and I'm not excited about that at all.
Did you just hoo-ah like Al Pacino?
Because he does. Roman's ooh-ah is a louder version of Al
You
Pacino's.
still not like Roman?
I don't like hate him. I don't know. I don't find him as. I feel like all the Shield has really like they're better to collectively. Each one on their own is kind of meh. Could you imagine if the Shield reunited? They just all got tired of their roles and just became badass heels
I think
again.
people would go crazy.
That'd be amazing.
Well, I'll find it later, but that's not the point. I'm pretty sure someone's crashed to the top.
I'm gonna beg to differ on that one.
Could-
But you're saying Braun's gonna win, right?
I think he has to.
I would say he has to, too. I think they just love Roman so much, I think Roman's going to win.
Well, but the thing is, and I'm basing this off of what
It's going to sound like a Williams sisters tennis match, though, with all the grunts and yells. Good
what
gracious.
I remember reading is they love Braun.
They love him. They want him to feud against Brock.
So I think he's going to win here.
Sure. I could see it.
I think he's going to win here to set that up with Brock.
Fair enough.
Which, I'm not really sure how I feel about that.
Right.
I like Braun. I like Brock.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they
Two
are
big
together.
behemoths going at it, I guess.
It's just like,
Yeah.
I like Justin Timberlake and I liked NSYNC. I don't want them together anymore.
Great. Okay. Speaking of Brock Lesnar, the final match of the Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view is the main event, and that is Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar. Now, can I say, I have loved Joe's heel work. Like, Joe's promos have been amazingly heelish.
I wish they took
I
Joe
like
more
it.
serious.
I'm just tired of the whole separation brawls. I'm tired of like them going at each other and being separated. It gets old. And they do it with Brock all the time. We've talked about this before. I'm tired of them doing it with Brock all the time.
I just wish they would.
Brock should never speak, by the way. The whole split screen interview.
Should never speak.
Brock was so uncomfortable you could tell.
Only
Brock
thing
should
he
never
should
say
have-
a word.
The only thing he ever should have said was, "I don't give a shit about your kids."
Yes, yes. He should never speak. Listening to Joe's passion and Brock's like flip it, and it was so bad to watch.
Joe is such a pro. He's so good, and
I kind of like this match.
pisses me off. I think Cornette booked this. I told you that. Remember that? Cornette booked this on that table for 3.
Did he?
They asked him what his upcoming WrestleMania, his dream match. He said Lesnar versus Joe, but he said it was a submission match.
No, Brock's not a submission guy.
He's got the Kimura.
He doesn't use it,
Well, he did 2 years ago.
but not as like his thing's the F5.
No.
That's his thing.
Duh, the F5 is his thing, but
That's his thing.
is it the Kimura? Is that the one?
Yeah,
where
it's
he
the
breaks
Kimura.
arm?
I think it's the
Yeah, remember he
Kimura.
broke Sean's arm, then he broke Vince's arm, then he broke Triple H's arm.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He's breaking everybody's arm.
Just breaking arm. Welcome to
And they
Break
were doing
Arm
the-
City.
They were doing the thing to show that it was broken, like freeze. Oh, snap my arm back.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
busted.
So busted.
Brock's gonna win. I don't particularly like it.
I would love if they swerved it and let Joe win.
No way, Jose.
No way, Jose. Oh, maybe he makes a surprise appearance. No way, Jose.
It ain't happening. Lesnar's gonna win. Probably win rather convincingly, which is kind of
stupid.
I hate it. I hate the whole thing.
It should be a bloodbath.
It should be an absolute war.
Yeah.
They've done a good job though of building.
They have. They really have.
I mean, like this whole thing makes him look like the badass he is, and like doing the choke outs and all this different stuff. It makes him. They've made him
Yeah.
look like a legit badass.
Right.
I just don't think that. I know they're not going to let him win because they have their plans for the
Braun.
golden child.
Braun and Brock.
But I am really happy Joe's in this situation. Just 'cause
Sure.
he's so good.
Yeah.
I would love to see Joe Rollins get a real run, and not your weird one-off.
Man.
You're so done with the Shield.
I kind of am. I'm not going to lie.
All right, well then I want to see Joe Reigns beat
Sure.
each other.
Sure. I'll take that. I will take that over that
You're
one.
done with Rollins.
I kind of am.
But what if Joe's the face?
No.
Joe.
No.
Joe.
No.
Joe.
No.
I mean, he doesn't have to be a blatant face.
No. Joe needs to be what he is right now.
Sure.
This
A tweener.
character is what
Take
he
it. Boom.
No, not even
Take
tweener.
it.
He needs to be this
He is a
guy
tweener right
from this
here.
point forward.
He is against the heel
No,
monster
Brock
champion.
is the tweener right now.
He is the heel he's going against the heel monster champion.
But
He's a
Brock,
tweener.
no, Brock is the tweener right now, I think.
Oh, Jesus.
I would say right now, in this booking, he is the tweener.
Did I even care about that anymore? Face
I
me?
don't think they do. Remember, as Triple H said, yeah, well, if you boo him, he's a heel. If you cheer him, he's a face.
Wow. But like when Brock and Braun fight, who's the heel? Braun?
I don't think they care.
Another problem is Braun. You're now when those two feud, Paul Heyman's gonna have to carry that feud
God.
because Braun Strowman ain't carrying that feud on the mic.
No.
He's not terrible, but come on.
He's okay, yeah.
I mean,
he's
my
okay.
God, he can't carry it by
Oh,
himself.
he can't.
You know who did carry it by himself? Not by himself. He had help with Heyman.
Who?
This guy fighting Brian.
Reigns, yeah.
It's time to get on board.
I mean, I like him right now over the other two.
He's the future.
He's the franchise.
He's not quite the modern day Maharaja. God, I love that guy.
Jinder Mahal.
He looks so good with the suit.
He really does.
He looks like that heel foreign champion.
He really. They love them some stereotypes in WWE.
I don't.
They love them some
racial
controversy.
He's Indian. Like, why did they have to bring the Punjabi prison back? I can't believe we hadn't talked about that.
Well, let me ask a question. What do you not like about it?
The Punjabi prison.
Yeah, I think it's actually an okay match. I don't think it's that bad, and people are like, "This is so stupid."
Well, because the first two were horrible. Big Show Taker terrible. Kali Taker terrible.
Was it Kali Batista? I think it was Kali Batista. It was Kali versus Batista in the first one.
Whatever. It was horrible.
Well, sure, but like the concept isn't bad.
What is the concept, Brian?
You have to. So remember,
you have to climb up twice.
Yes. So the first one.
Bamboo?
Yes, I guess. I don't know. So the first ring of the cage has 4 doors. When you request one to be open, it stays open for like 2 minutes, and then after that, it shuts permanently.
Oh my God.
So if you remember the first one, they basically did the whole spiel. There are 4 doors open, they all shut. And, oh my God! The only way to get out is to climb out. So then you got to climb out of the first one. Then you have to climb out of the second one. It's kind of, I don't know.
Is this like Legends of the Hidden Temple?
Sure.
Like you got to request the door to be open.
It is Indiana Jones in WWE.
Can I have this door open, please?
I don't mind it. Okay, let me answer me this question. What would you rather have, Punjabi prison or ambulance match?
Just cancel.
You had to pick one. You had to pick one. Which one would you rather do? I'd rather do Punjabi prison.
I could do something cool with an ambulance match like I just did.
I would do that over a stretcher match.
Yes.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So in terms of matches, it's a Natty, not a Naomi.
Naomi's the champion.
But you just said she's horrible on the mic. You don't want to talk. You don't want to hear her talk.
Brutal.
Just like we don't want to see a stretcher match.
Punjabi prison, like why though?
They need to do something. But
here's
the thing, though. They need to do something to blow this feud off. They've had normal matches.
Throw him in a freaking cell.
No. I do not want to see Jinder Mahal in a cell.
Throw him in a cage. Throw him in a ladder.
Okay. But they're trying to get the gimmick over, I think. I think that's what they're really trying to do. To get the gimmick over. To get the Indian... I'm telling you, WWE loves them some racial controversy. They really do. That's the only reason I think they're doing it, for the racial tie-ins.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be.
Because that's why they did it with the Great Khali.
Yes, that's true.
You know, fun fact, one of Jinder's role models was the Great Khali.
Cool.
So it was one of his idols growing up.
Wow. Explains the first part of your career.
Surprised you can get Ranjan Singh to come back.
I like the Bollywood boys clapping behind him.
I do too.
They're great.
They are good. They're the next J&J Security.
What's their name called?
What do you mean?
Do they not have...
They're the Bollywood boys.
But they need to think of
a faction name? I don't know.
Like it's going to be something really bad.
It's going to be something very racial.
Yeah.
That's what it's going to be. Because Vince loves him some racial stuff. Definitely don't. Yeah. We have listeners in that part of the world. We don't want to. We aren't Vince McMahon.
I don't get it.
We don't love some racial controversy.
I don't understand why he's just an automatic heel. Like, why is India so terrible to you, Vince? Like, why is it,
why was Bulgaria and Russia?
Well, that one makes a little more sense.
In terms of the American tie-in, sure.
Well, that's where they're based. They're based in America. So.
I know. Vince loves him. He's always had the thing with the whole Middle Eastern, because you had the Iron Sheik, you had Muhammad Hassan. Too, he loves him some Middle Eastern hate.
They're like trying to confuse the stupid American people that go to these shows.
Yes.
And he's trying to confuse the American public that because this guy has a hijab on, that he's...
You're exactly right. It's frightening. It's frightening that Vince is like, do it.
And it works.
I guess.
You can be...
But does it need to?
Well, he's a pretty easy way to get... And I'm sure he doesn't. He's not even Indian, though.
Is he not?
No.
I thought he was.
It's like Muhammad Hassan all over again.
No, are you sure? I'm pretty sure he was
Mark
Indian.
Kopihani. No.
Is that his name?
No, that was Muhammad Hassan.
Oh. Are you? I thought Jinder was actually Indian.
No. They said that he's not even Indian.
Oh my gosh. Why are they doing this then?
Because he looks Indian, pal.
Oh my gosh.
What does he look like to you?
Oh my gosh. That is horrible. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, Great Balls of Fire this Sunday. Pay-per-view. WWE Network.
He's Canadian.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
He's an Indo-Canadian. What's that mean? Like Indonesia?
He's Indian. Part Indian.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Oh, he's an Indian Canadian.
Okay.
But he's not like full Indian.
Right.
Like they make him out to be.
Right. He's from Montreal.
He's from Calgary.
Is he really?
Calgary.
Holy crap. Him and Bret Hart. Holy crap. All right.
Go build from Punjab, India.
Oh, boy.
His name is like, I can't really figure out how to pronounce it.
Vince. Vince loves him.
Yuvraj Singh Dehezi.
Vince loves him some of that.
The modern day Maharaja. We love you, Jinder.
We do. We actually really respect you because you've really making a name for yourself. You really have. With that said, it's time for our ever fun segment of future endeavors. So Vinnie Mac, speaking of Vinnie Mac, hit us with that sweet, sweet sound. Okay.
It was beautiful.
That was.
Do you have one?
I do. Don't remember totally what it is.
Well, mine's like a legit one, so remember it.
Oh, I know mine. Yep. I know mine. I know mine now. Totally. I just need to think about it for a second. Our hoots and toots are hitting us, I think. That and the fatigue. Okay, so mine's a preemptive future endeavors. I'm going to go long term here. I'm going to give a pre-future endeavors to the American Alpha Tag Team and Jason Jordan's career in WWE.
Oh, God, I hope you're so wrong.
I hope I am too, because we had heard a while back that they were really high on Jason Jordan and they thought he could be a potential champ. But American Alpha has been non-existent for the last 2 months. And now you just have Chad Gable in all these matches and holding his own against the likes of Kevin Owens and AJ Styles. And I just think it's a matter of time before Jason Jordan's sitting on the lower card doing random battle royals, and you could see him out of the company or back down to NXT or something. Wow. I don't see him lasting. He has nothing. What does he have? He has no mic skills. I'm just saying, he doesn't have mic skills in himself over. They keep trying this whole Team Angle thing in. Well, he's not on Raw, so what does he have going for him other than his look? So wow. I'm going to give a preemptive future endeavors to the career of American Alpha and Jason Jordan, because clearly they've decided to go with Chad Gable over you, and you are inevitably breaking up. And Jason Jordan, like Enzo, will slowly begin to flounder, unfortunately.
Okay. I really hope you're wrong. Are people lighting fireworks off 2 days after?
It's 3. Or 2, yeah, sorry.
Anyways, I hope you're wrong. I enjoy Jason Jordan.
I do too. I like him.
I think they could be something.
They're fans of the show. I can't hate them.
I hope they continue to go with American Alpha, though.
I do too.
I hope they don't really bust off yet with Chad Gable. I will say that my future endeavors are apparently a future one as well, because they were in the Battle Royal.
Were they? No, they weren't.
They weren't?
No.
Well, their picture was on the graphic, so...
I don't really know. They weren't in there.
Oh. Okay. Well, they weren't in the Battle Royal then. But the Colognes, which I'm a little disappointed by it. They brought him back as the Shining Stars, and they were these very strange Puerto Rican
timeshare salesman.
Yeah. It was a very strange gimmick that I don't really know how that ever got signed off on.
Come to Puerto Rico, the Shining Star of the Caribbean.
I thought when they switched them over to the Colognes and they were heel tag team and they were working real good, I thought they looked really good, and I thought they could be a really solid tag team.
Yep.
The guys both can wrestle.
Yes, they can.
I think they can both go on the mic. I know Primo can. Or maybe it's Epico. Not really sure which one it is. But
I think it's Primo. Carlito's, like, brother or cousin or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Primo.
The one with, like, the goatee kind of thing. But it was reported they requested their release from WWE, which makes sense to me because honestly they could probably go to Puerto Rico and make a whole lot more money working for their dad.
Yeah.
But it is the dream of every wrestler to be in WWE. I hope they hold out because I think that their tag team, I think this new, the Colognes tag team is the gimmick that everybody's been waiting for with these two guys for the long time. Not the Shining Stars, not all the stupid different things. Because they did this once originally with Rosa Mendez, a similar type of gimmick, where they were a heel tag team and just it worked for a while, and then they split them up and then went away. But I think that these guys, I hope they stick around. They haven't been officially released, but they've put in their release to be. They've put in their request to be released. So it's probably inevitably going to happen here in the next week or so. But there's a future endeavors out to them, especially because I believe it was Primo was just on that Talking Shop. He was the guest. Because, I don't know if you've noticed, but when they do Talking Shop, they have a rotating fourth guest.
Yeah.
And he was the rotating fourth guest and showed way more personality than I've seen in the 6 years he's been on WWE TV. And he was funny. He was really good. And I want them back. But future endeavors.
I don't think I remember seeing them on that Battle Royal, but maybe they were.
I don't know. Their pictures were shown on the graphic.
On the graphic, like hyping it up. Yeah, I mean, they're just another depth to the tag team division, which again, it's like
really good,
they can. I'd also saw in a rumor sheet that Epico has already had T-shirts printed for his dad for the Cologne promotion.
And the Cologne promotion retweeted that.
Yeah.
Somebody's report that's saying that they had requested their release. So they might be trying to talk them out of it, which is why they haven't done it yet. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, they were finally gaining some momentum as a legit team.
I like the heel Colognes. That's so much better.
And they could have a good feud with American Alpha. That could be a solid feud. That's a bummer. 2 good tag teams from SmackDown potentially ending here pretty soon.
But they've just kind of dropped the ball on them again.
Yeah, for sure. It's just really booking. It's not necessarily the people involved, it's the booking.
Yeah, he's just kind of there.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that time, that means we are ready to hear the sexy, sultry sounds of one John Laurinaitis.
I'd actually like to take this opportunity to wish John Morrison the best in all his future endeavors.
There we go.
Luscious
baritone, velvety voice. Well, folks, it's the bewitching hour.
That ends it.
That ends it. Thanks. We were a little off today. A little bit. But again, we appreciate you listening. Follow us on Twitter at NoCell Radio. Find us on Facebook at NoCell Radio. Archive.org, SoundCloud, email us, nocellradio@gmail.com. Again, we took 3 weeks to get this next one out. Hopefully we'll be back to the every 2, trying to keep it consistent for you. Check us. I've been doing some live videos on Twitter, so you might see one from me after Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view on Sunday, kind of giving you some initial thoughts. Maybe Corey can get in on that one or send some thoughts my way to relay to our faithful listeners.
I will be showing my face. So try.
Yeah, Corey will not be showing his face. We have radio faces if you haven't figured it out. But anyway, thanks for, as always, listening, supporting us. And I'm Brent.
And I'm Corey.
And we'll see you next time, all right? Take care. This has been a production of No Cell Radio in conjunction with the No Cell Radio Network. No Cell Radio!